Hello everyone, my name is Jeleni Ailén Narvaez Prado. I am a student at UTPL University. This is my DNI. In this opportunity, I'm going to talk about grammatical devices regarding aspects, things, and voice. So let's analyze one by one. Let's start with the aspect, which refers to different forms of ever age regarding different constructions. For example, we have simple, right, and present perfect. Let's analyze. Simple, so this aspect refers to the use of suffixes is the subject, is this person, or past ed changed form. So they are regular or change form if they are irregular forms. That is why it's important, very important for each to take into account static verbs and dynamic verbs with respect to simple aspects. For example, here are two examples with respect to the static verb. Number one is I study in this country, or that burger smells good. So in the past, as you can see, the subjects are not acting in action, as you can notice. They are using the sentences use syntactic has static verbs, and they also switch the past. So that burger smells good. In past is let me see. That burger tasted good. So they continue. Subject performs an action, so I endemic verb, and also if we use the third person as a noun, we need add the change to the verb suffix. In this case, we need to add in the verb is the past aspect, the progressive aspect, sorry. Let's continue the explanation. It's referred to ongoing on temporary actions. It could be the past, present, or in future. For example, we have an ongoing action which is Mary is working in the past. Mary is working. Let's continue with the next part, which is they are drawing perfectly. This is an action that has completed means that are working, better know, and also is the past word working perfect. Also, let's continue with the present perfect. Of this aspect talks about the interest of verb using the hour, have, has a present, had a past perfect, and also the verb in the past. To build the sentences perfectly, and also talks about when action moves from past to present, where I have some example. Mark has run clearly, and they have performed very well. Mark has trained for 1 year, and we have eaten pasta since 22. So when I'm going to indicate a tense directly, the example we like this, Mark has trained for 1 year, and we have also eaten pasta since 22. As you can see, the characteristics of present are when the tense is not directly indicated, and also directly indicated the next action happen in the first or second speech in the report, or is the conditional too. For example, when I moved to here, but the second sentence after comma happened first. Indirect discourse is commonly used and the structure like this. She said that she had moved to Seto. Next, we have an if conditional. For example, if Sally had done report, I would have traveled to Europe. We are going to use the model. Let's continue with the present progressive. The action that happened in the past, but continued action ended recently. For example, my cat has been barking all night, and also my stomach hurts. I've been eating Coke all morning. It's okay. Finish with this part. Let's continue with the example H of the retinal devices. So here we have things, okay, to refers to change of forms or birds decay depending on regarding the time of the actions. We have present, the past tense or future tense, present tense, past tense, future tense. Let's start with the present tense. I used for the daily activities, habits, routines, or truth, and etc. And let's analyze some examples where here we have she always drinks Coke. This is an habit. The next is I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. This is a routine. And water boils at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a true. This is true. As you can see, we are using rule if the subject, as it's very important keep in mind to use the present tense and also use for routines and for truths. We also have the performative actions, which are the following. For example, we have I go into the cell phone or continue the so participation or forum or another examples we must confess that happened yesterday. Let's continue with the next part, which is the past tense. The past tense refers to actions that happened in the past and they finish at a specific time. It's saying that, let's start with example. I wrote a letter to Edwin yesterday, but he didn't reply. Other example is, we cooked a Russian salad last night. Did you like it? Are indicated in a specific time, which is yesterday, and changing them for all, which is the past tense. It also verb irregular. Let's continue with the next example that I read. It's, we cooked a Russian salad last night. Did you like it? We also did for interrogative. Let's move to the next part, which is the future tense. The future tense refers to actions that will happen ahead. Later, let's continue with example and let's use the auxiliary of the future, which is we'll also want to add also models to talk about using expressions of the future. For example, I will buy a new bed. Sally won't come the next week. The next week is the future expressions. And others, we're going by beer tonight's party. Are they going to climb the mountain? It may rain today. This is very important to know the structure, and we don't have the change the form on the word. It doesn't matter in the subject or the rule. It stays just adding auxiliary. It's fine for the future examples. That are before we are going to the example, we're going to buy a bed tonight. That's fine. And also I want to ask a question. We change for example, we are going by beer tonight's party. That's fine. That I also, if want to ask questions, we have form of the verb to be and also add er. Here is example. Are you going to climb the mountain? Also for future tense is important to use. It is available to the use models. For example, it might rain today. A model also is for the future tense. Let's move to the next part, which boys her refers to the form the verb, which the grammatical subject is a door of an action of, reserved of an action, or maybe in the middle. So the form of the verb is will they, when the subject is short option, so maybe in the middle. So let's start with this first. is one which the active voice. The active voice here focuses on who undoes or did the action. Let's start with an example. Mary designed the skirt. Mary decided their skirt is a door of action which designer of the skirts, and let's move on the passive here. Passive voice is received or receives the actions. The example for this is the skirts are designed by Mary. It's not indirectly indicated the active and passive voice, so it's combined both characteristics. Here's example is skirts are sold here. It contains both characteristics as a conclusion as a future professional teachers to make and understand the skit grammatical. The last one, sorry, is middle voice. It has both characteristics, so the example is the skirts solve themselves and expect difference in the construction, also the tense. It has to be a different tense and also voice when the verb tells the subject person and action or recite. Has both the characteristics, then this or presentation. If you want to leave a comment, please. See you the next time. See you the next video. Bye bye.